If you'd have said to me 10 years ago that I'd be coaching at Man United, I'd have laughed.
This is it. You need to give me everything. Your heart, your soul, everything.
They communicate sign, I talk English, but yet we get this success.
I mean, there's nothing stopping us from making it to the top level.
If we can play to the level 75% get to, we will win this trophy. Sir Alex Ferguson, he's probably been the most important person in my life, other than my wife, of course.
Otherwise, we're going home
I'm living my dream, basically. Look at someone like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
How do you spell his surname?
O-S-O-L. All right, say Chicharito.
If I catch you doing it, you're in trouble. These are going to want to beat us more than anything because of who we are.
As a fan, I've been around the world watching the team.
Make sure you attack it hard.
It's so humble to be doing it and so grateful, but also I don't ever want to lose it, so that's why I take it so serious, and that's why I'm driven for the team to succeed.
Tonight we've got the 11-a-side squad and the 7-a-side deaf squad. They're both training tonight, so for the new lads that are coming into the team, they'll start off with a 7-a-side and then hopefully with a little bit of help they'll move on to the 11-a-side team with Sean.
We had quite a lot of chances that we didn't really take.
Well, what happened was we had this group of deaf players that were talented, but they developed a bit of a reputation of being of causing problems at fixtures.
We're scoring with a one-touch finish.
When I first joined them, it was like, how shall I put it? It was like a social club. There was no discipline. They were running around at the cliff. They had a ball. They were kicking at each other. They were kicking at the wall. They were kicking at anything.
You've got to be in that box before you shoot, so you've got to time it.
So Steve just said to me, would I take the team on? Which I did. I accepted the challenge because there was there's some real talent in there, some really, really good footballers, whether they're deaf or impaired or whatever, there's some really great players.
Sean eventually installed these rules, and it was tough at the beginning, and they all form as one big team now.
What I didn't understand at the very beginning was the deaf community is a very close community. And once we'd put the right things in place, so the structures were there, training at the cliff, words quickly got around.
The team just evolved. I didn't do anything differently to what I've been doing with any other group. Like the sessions I thought were good, and the players started to come from all around the country.
We'll go again till we get it right.
I do oversee things. Sean has got total power when it comes to picking the team, picking the squads, which I agreed fully in from day one. Because we've got 12 teams across the disability programme, it would be impossible for me to run every single team. And every team has progressed by having that one specific coach.
And we came up with this plan where Steve would be the boss overall, end of. He would have the final say. Sean would be coaching and my role would be communication. We would never cross over. I wouldn't get involved in his role and therefore he wouldn't get involved in my role. So if I needed something explaining, he would explain it and vice versa. I'm more of a combination of a mother, friend, sister, communicator, interpreter, and my role is endless.
When she's not there, or when we're trying to do something very football specific, it can take quite a long time for the players to actually grasp what's going on. So what I would normally do is I'd get one group to watch on the side and the better hearing group to put a little demonstration of what I'm trying to do. So the group that have got the lesser hearing, so to speak, they can see what's going on visually, so then they can get it in their own minds what happens and they can just go off and do it. A good football coach, in my opinion, can coach to anyone, whether they're deaf, blind, if there's whatever impairment is. As long as you've got the desire, and the determination, then you should be able to coach to anyone.
On the English Deaf football side of things, there's two main cups. You've got the GB Deaf Cup and you've got the EDF, which is the English Deaf Football Cup.
We felt that the English Deaf Cup was more suitable to our requirements. From a logistical point of view, it was a lot more suitable for what we wanted to do.
When we got the draw first round, we found out that we got last year's winners, which were Fulham. And when we did a little bit of digging into the history of the cup, we found that they've reached the final for, I think it's the last 4 years or something silly like that.
I think Fulham have had quite a bit of money pumped into their side by Al Fayed, and I think that it's going to be a tough game for them. But I think they're very up for the game, you know. And I just said to them before the game, doesn't matter how much money's pumped into football. If you perform on the pitch, you can beat anybody.
That's the focus, always been the focus, coming to this competition and trying to compete in the competition against the bigger lads. Fulham, like I say, they're in the top 3 in the country, so to get a result against them is brilliant. We've been trying to get into them the United way, the United style of playing, ball on the floor, ball to feet, passing and moving. It's eventually sunk in, and now that, along with the fitness, has all paid off.
What are your feelings about the rest of this competition? How far can we go?
Hopefully the final, but we'll see what we get in the next round, see where we go from there.
especially being involved in disability football, you can see the appreciation a lot more of the players than someone who just plays mainstream on a Saturday. You know, some of the players, it's the life, it is the absolute life that they take part in football, and that they're being coached at Man United. And for you to sort of be such a major influence in that, for me, it's such a big responsibility, and it's such an important thing.
Room number 1. It's going to be Chris. A lot of them are on social networks such as Twitter and Facebook, so I know a lot of them are always in contact with themselves on there. If there's any messages that needs to be sent out from myself or Sean, and we haven't got contact with the group, then it's always by text message.
I think you've all got the right ingredients for the group. No one's on each other's backs. There's no moaning. We've had a really good bonding session here. This is something that we don't normally get to do. We don't normally get to eat together, spend time in the gym together. So all that is going to stand, I think, in good stead.
You know he cheated to what he wanted, and then you bought it. Sucking up to the devil, stepping down a level. It's who they fit.
Right, is everybody okay? No one's feeling tight or anything? This has been building up since the minute the Fulham whistle, the final whistle went. Everybody here has got a role to play today. Hytham was on the bench against Fulham, came on at half-time, basically won his place in the team today. So you guys that are on the bench, you know, there's a massive role to play. It is. I can't tell you how important it is. Look at someone like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
How do you spell his surname?
O-S-O-L. Oh, all right, say Chicharito. Spends a lot of his time on the bench, comes off the bench, scores a lot of goals and wins United's games. So everybody's got a job to play. We want to play the way we play every week. Free-flowing football all the time, try and pass it into feet, and be positive at all times.
Okay, well done. Still not satisfied though. It could be 15-0 this. Could be 15-0. Now, I want it to be 16 and 17-0 because it'll give us a massive confidence boost, and it'll also make other teams look and think, bloody hell, they're a good team. So relax, take the chances, just relax, pass it into the goal. Don't try and rip the net off, just pass it in. Okay? Keep it tight. I want it nil. I want it nil. So concentrate. You've got to concentrate. You okay?
Yeah, I'm bored.
You've got to concentrate. I don't want these to score. Okay? Well done. But I want more. For me, the Man United badge is the seller. That's what overcomes anything. I mean, my coaching experience since I've been coaching, I've coached players where they can't speak English. I mean, I've coached players at Man United that are deaf. But football brings communities together.
Yeah, I did.
Football is a magical game that it's inclusive for everybody. And there are little sectors like this, and I know there are different disability sections. This is just one of the sections, but to be involved in it and to offer people the opportunity to do it, it's really good.
You know, I'm obviously aware of all the good work the foundation does, so it comes as no surprise that were supporting the deaf team, and they're making great strides as well. I just watched them warm up really. It's the warm up they do before training sessions and before games, so I just watched that, and then I joined in with a bit of head tennis, which was good and enjoyable, and like I say, the standard is really good, so fitted in well. Obviously communication is quite important in football, but just seeing firsthand how they manage it and how they do it, it's not a problem. Even me joining in their head tennis there, it's not a problem. It's just a nod or an acknowledgement, and it's no problem. So yeah, it's opened my eyes, obviously seeing it firsthand, but it's been great.
And there's nothing stopping us from making it to the top level, and I think when the likes of Ryan Giggs, who's just recently played his 1,000th career game, I mean, it just inspired us all to get up there and do the best we can and just make an inspiration for the deaf community itself.
Your favourite Manchester United player? Your favourite of all time?
My favourite player is Scholesy. Yeah. Yeah.
Good, thank you.
Who's yours?
Yeah, quite cool.
Yeah? Say me.
Yeah,
Next week, you tell him Scholesy.
Need to say him.
I believe we've got the best deaf team in this country, and it's days like today that we need to show it. But today will not be an easy game. Especially because of who we are, because we're Man United, when we pulled in on the coach, everyone was looking at us. When we walk out onto that pitch, everyone will be looking at us. When we kick off, everyone will be watching our game. Because of who we are, it brings the added attention and the added focus. So that means you've got to up your game. Because don't forget who we're representing. We're representing the greatest club in the world. The greatest club in the world. Right, a couple of points. That half there, although we're 2-0 up, I'm not happy at all because it should be 4-0 and the game should be over. We've had 2 or 3.
I mean, I've always worked in finance, and it's been my main role running to Friday 9 to 5 at Addleshaw Goddard in Manchester. The firm here is so understanding of what I do at Man United, and they allow me a really, really good balance. So we'll finish the day at 5 o'clock, and then I'll stay here till about 7 o'clock, just planning things regarding with the football.
A couple of points on here.
I'll put the session plan together, so this is an example of what it will look like. Little picture of the pitch, all the information for myself to relay to the players.
Make sure you attack it hard.
If you'd have said to me 10 years ago that I'd be coaching at Man United, I'd have laughed. I'm living my dream, basically. I've been all around the world, as a fan, I've been around the world watching the team, and it's amazing. I mean, it's so humble to be doing it and so grateful, but also I don't ever want to lose it, so that's why I take it so serious, and that's why I'm driven for the team to succeed.
Everybody makes mistakes, including the referee. So do not play offside. If I catch you doing it, you're in trouble. Well done. Let's now finish it off. Come on, let's finish it off. Come on!
I'm a realist, I'm a romantic. Did you see her eyes? I know I tried. She looks surprised. And you dream that's the same thing, that's the same life you lead. I got a reason, so you drink for nothing. That's just your
Right, a couple of things. Make sure we take all the bottles, all the equipment off the sideline. All of our stuff goes back in the changing room. If there's any mess left, I don't want any mess, end of story. Congratulations, well done. Personally, a little bit disappointed. Thought we were quite not at our best. Did enough to win, but when you're striving for perfection, nothing but perfection is good enough. But that's football, and we're in a final, so well done.
Grew up in a town called Lorri Wilson, which is just between St Helens and Warrington. It's like half and half Manchester United. You get the odd City, the odd Everton, the odd Liverpool, but majority is United. And I wanted to be Brian Robson, and that's how I got into it. I was just, when I was a kid, I was out every day. As soon as I got it from school, I was out with a ball. Played a good level up till 16, and then stopped for a couple of reasons. And then I started playing again at about 19, and I had a bad accident that finished my playing career at 21, which then got me into coaching. I was playing centre half, we had a corner and I was just sat on the halfway line. The ball got cleared into the sort of right channel and I was cutting over to the left, and I moved in to make a slide tackle, and as luck would have it, he was the biggest guy on the pitch. He sort of did a forward roll and landed on my neck, full body weight, which I was then propelled forward and propelled back. And I looked up and I couldn't feel a thing. I was paralysed from the neck down. I was literally lay on the pitch for about an hour until a paramedic came, and then an ambulance came. They performed a 6-hour operation, fusing my spine, reducing it, and in bed for 3.5 months, just lay on my back. The consultant at Oswestry said to me that I would probably, 90% never walk again, of which my reply was, I'll have you a bet that I'll walk again. I was of the belief that, although I was paralysed, that if I tried to trigger the nerve endings in my legs or my feet or my arms, that the nerves wouldn't die and that there would be potentially the opportunity for movement. And one day I was just in bed, still on what they call bed rest, and this one limb, this leg wouldn't move, and it just flicked up in the air out of nowhere. And it was like, the feeling was like winning the World Cup. It was just unbelievable, because I knew then that day that I would walk. I had to get out of bed into a wheelchair and start learning to walk again, like a newborn baby would, and it was scary. There was absolutely no chance that I was not going to walk out of that hospital, and I said that to them. There was no chance. I wouldn't have left until I walked out. Just the other week I was back in the hospital to have some scans and stuff around my neck and on the spine, and the nurse came in and didn't realise who I was, because she was expecting someone to either be in a wheelchair or in a bed. So that sort of sums up the reaction, really. You know, people say, "Oh, you're C5, C6, really?" Yeah. So until you understand that the sort of intricate details of spinal injuries, you don't realise how much of a rarity and how big of an achievement it is. But you know, it's just one of those things, really. What I want to do now, just for 5-10 minutes, I want you to just pay attention, because I want to explain to you what this means to me, what this means to Man United, and what Man United means to me. So, obviously, you all know I used to play football, and I played at a good level, and I got injured. I've never played again. Now, and obviously with breaking my neck, I became disabled, so to speak. So I was so keen to get involved in disability sport. So when I got the opportunity to come here to work as a coach, in my opinion, the greatest club in the world, the team I've supported since I was 4. I've been all around the world watching. I've had fantastic, shed tears, give blood. You know, to do this, what I'm doing, I'm basically living out my dream. and you guys live it out for me. It's such a big deal, and it's such a big deal for the club to put the trust in Steve, Lorri, myself, you guys, to deliver, but not being a professional and being on a contract. So this weekend, it means so much to me, it means so much to the club. If we can play to the level that we can 75% get to, we will win this trophy. Any questions?
What's this shit? What's this shit?
What? We've done all the work now. We've done all the work over the last three months, past season, and it's all been geared up for today. Make sure you go out there and enjoy it, because these don't come around every day. We don't play on this sort of pitch every week, so make sure you enjoy it. Make sure you represent the club as best as you can. You might have to go through the pain barrier today. If you've got an injury, you're going to have to play through it. You need to give me everything today. This is it. This is it. You need to give me everything. Your heart, your soul, everything. Because these are going to want to beat us more than anything because of who we are. Any questions? Do we want it? Do we want this? Yes or no?
Living for the city from which we rise, and over love, and over hate, through the science sky that's fast becoming our mind, over fear and into freedom. You just got to hold on. You just got to hold on.
I'm disappointed, but I know we can get back into this game. Now we've got to be more urgent as well. We're not urgent enough. The ball's gone out for a throw and we're walking for the ball. Run! It's urgent. We're getting beat 1-0. It's up to you now. We've got 45 minutes. We can score 2 goals in 45 minutes easily. And we can keep them out. Every single one needs to up it by at least 15%. Otherwise, we're going home empty-handed. Do we want this or not? Do we want it? Do we want it? Do we want it?
A wonderful adventure.
Do we want this?
Let us use that power. Let us all unite. And we'll rise over love, over hate, through the science sky that's fast becoming our minds, and over fear and into freedom, into freedom from which we rise.
disappointment was there, obviously, because we lost the game on the day, but I was proud of the players, that the way they handled themselves after losing, because it was upsetting, and you know there was a lot of emotion on the day, and I thought they handled themselves absolutely perfectly, and they were great ambassadors for Man United, and you know, it's a really good experience which, you know, none of us will ever forget.
Every single one of you, every one of you I'm proud of. Just remember how this feels though, it won't happen again. Yeah, it's going well. Obviously we've moved from the Cliff to here at Salford University, which has been a little bit of a change, but you know, people are starting to get used to it now. Jade has come on as our strength and conditioning coach, so she basically looks after the warm-ups, cool-downs, every element of physical preparation. So the sprint sessions, the fitness sessions that we do, well, we've done it over the summer.
You really need to be changing up it.
I had a meeting with Steve and it was what I could bring to the team. So said that basically to improve as a team we need to improve the fitness and general athleticism as players. So just come in and been introduced warm-ups, cool-downs, and actually sort of a professional approach to it.
And we've got Ben who's coming in to look after the diet. They sort of came in at the end towards last season just to get a taste, but we've come fully on board now. Ben looks after the nutrition, and he's got the lads on particular diets, eating the right things at the right times to basically give them the best preparation they possibly can have for football. It's been positive all round, it's been really positive. The new guys have embraced it, the players have really started to embrace it, and it's showing because we're getting good results. And I said after our first game, after being involved with this team for 2 years at 11-a-side level, that was our best performance, so that's just quite a lot really. I mean, we've got a new guy coming, Alex, it's great for me. I've coached him since he was 14, and now to see him go through from 14 to 17 and playing open age for the Man United Deaf team is fantastic.
This is my room. Look at that. That's what I wanted to show you.
And how did you end up playing for United?
Playing for City when I was younger, and then I played against United, against Steve's team, and then he ended up contacting me a few years later asking me if I wanted to play for the United team.
And how did you feel about going on the other side?
I wasn't too fussed, it's still quite good football anyway. Some of them are from school, the World Cup one's from winning the league. There's a playing for Man City one there as well, Hyde United, which is quite a local team. Like when I've played for other teams, I've not been appreciated as much as I should, and then at United I have been. I was born deaf, it's nerve damaged as well, so it'll never get better. I think it's about 75% deaf in the left ear. And we didn't notice it from birth, we noticed it in reception when we had to do like hearing and speech tests and stuff like that, and they noticed that I couldn't hear in the left ear. I would consider myself as a deaf person.
I didn't expect him to be the player that he is now, and he always says to me, "It's thanks to you that I am this player now," and it's nice. It's, you know, it's humbling to hear that sort of thing.
There's not that many Asians in football in general, not necessarily in the Premier League or in the football leagues, but I think for Asians, when their parents are bringing them up, they're more or less family business orientated, or they're more or less involved in their education, but nobody really pushes their kids into football. And I've been very fortunate to have my mum support me, have my dad support me obviously, and take me to training sessions, bring me from training sessions from right when I was a kid. And I think they've really influenced me in my career so far. Obviously, being nominated for the Inspiration Award, I think I can inspire others to do the same.
Would you like to be a professional footballer?
Definitely, I'd love to do this full time, you know, being together with a squad like your brothers really. I mean, I'm happy as I am at the moment, but got to love every minute of it while you can, because football, you can never be too sure, but would definitely, if I had the chance, would love to go pro.
And you know, all the fabulous lifestyle that goes with it.
That's the perks of being a footballer, but really it's just about being the best you can on the field really. That's what it's all about, showing what you're capable of. To be nominated and didn't even know about it, that's in itself goes to show that my efforts are being recognised, and hopefully I'll do the team proud, and hopefully if it all goes well tonight I will win the award. Obviously looking around now, there's a lot of people here, there's quite a few familiar faces. I've spotted Dion Dublin, obviously he used to play for United. Gary Lineker's on his way, can't wait to see him. I've spotted my competitor as well for the night. I've had a bit of a chat with him, seems okay. Just want to get it over and done with, but I want to soak in the atmosphere and enjoy the night whilst it's still young.
The Inspiration Award really is about someone who inspires, really someone who's got a story to tell about, you know, how they've achieved what they have achieved. And Akil's nomination came through, and the guys looked at it and we thought, you know what, this guy has really done something, he's really achieved something, and especially for playing for Manchester United as well.
I think it's a great initiative because it's not only highlighting the actual players, it's highlighting all the grassroots work and plus behind the scenes and some of the legacy stuff that people have been doing for years. Asians in football is not just about what's happening now, it's been going on for 10, 15, 20 years. It's important that all those people are highlighted and brought forth.
Hello, Wembley.
Highlight of the night was obviously when my heart was racing as soon as the Inspiration Award came up. I didn't know whether I would win or not.
Inspiration Award goes to Irfan Khan.
But I'm very happy for the person who did win, but to be fair, I don't feel disheartened or anything, because overall tonight was a big experience for me, being my first night at an awards night. I'm just very fortunate and happy to be nominated in the first place.
I think a lot of our deaf lads that we've got playing for us have had quite a bad experience at some point in their life with the hearing world, whether it was something along the lines of Mickey taking when they were in school, which I have heard from some of the lads, or whether it's being left out of football. One lad come up to me and said in his last team he could never get into the team because the manager would never make eye contact so he could lip read, so he didn't understand the instructions that the team were being given. So he would go out, try and play his own game, and the manager wasn't happy with that. You know, they've all had some kind of experience which wasn't a pleasant one.
So, just on the game then today, obviously it's the first round of the Cup. Last year, over the summer, the final I could have never been able to shake the final off, the result. I've never been able to, I don't think I've ever stopped thinking about it in the back of my mind. Because the team that went out that day was not this team. I don't know what it was, whether it was nerves, whether it was inexperience. So today is our first opportunity to put that right that happened in May at Northampton against St John.
Points really. When we're going in for challenges like this, if we're going in from behind, make sure, we always said, on the outside of his shoulder, because if he turns, just spin away, if he turns, you've always got the chance to recover. Right, we're going to make a change. We're going to make a change. We're going to take Alex off, simply because he's on a booking. Gareth, when you're braking, just have a go, have a shot, okay? Well done, mate. Our passing was good. I was really pleased with the passing. A lot of one-touch stuff. Sometimes our finishing was a little bit poor, and our decision-making was a little bit poor. But you know, it's a 4-1 win, and we're in the next round, so I shouldn't really be complaining. But it's just the way I am.
The first half was good. The second half should have been a lot better. When I come off, that was the reason anyway.
I think I had a very good chance to go through in this round and trying to win some game. If they keep on that positive in their attitude, then they will have a good chance.
Why do you think the manager wasn't happy?
We should have scored more. Yeah, we should, but we did well. So that's all I can say.
This is Gareth Dolan interviewing Manchester United players. All right, thank you.
My veins are blue and connected, and every single bone in my brain is electric. But I dig bitches like the best of them. Your trouble, come on, my daddy, yes, sir. Come on, my daddy, yes, sir. And even God herself has fewer plans than me, but she never helps me out with my scams for free, though. She grabs a stick and then she points it at me. When I say nothing, I say everything. Yeah, when I say nothing, I say everything. They put me down in the lazaretto. Born rotten, making models of people I used to know, out of coffee and cotton. And all my illegitimate kids have been gotten, thrown down to the wolves, made feral for nothing. Quarantined on the Isle of Man, and I'm trying to escape anywhere I can. Oh.
Things evolve, and I'm sure the team will evolve without me. For the first time, I've put my family first. Really, really sad, and it's been probably one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make. But I've decided to leave the team because I just couldn't commit to it. I've got a new baby on the way, which will be my first child. I'm going to miss the players. I'm going to miss the competition. I'm going to miss everything. I'm going to miss being part of Man United. I'm going to miss, you know, the football, the lads' reliance on me, the sort of father figure relationship that I've taken on, all that. And I have said that if there's anything I can do on some sort of advisory capacity, then, you know, I will absolutely do it. I'll always be there for the players. I've told them that in a football sense and a personal sense. And, you know, see what the future holds. You know, see what the future holds.
One wish is just to continue what they're doing, putting in the hard work, because at the end of the day, without the players, we haven't got anything.
I want them to be so proud of themselves, like we are as staff, proud of them already, but I want them to be proud of each other. That is my biggest wish, for them to win.
They've got to keep playing, and they've just got to keep enjoying it and remember why they're actually there, rather than taking it, you know, everything to heart and everything so serious.
There may be a little bit more light-heartedness around the place now. I'm not there because it was a little bit strict, but you know, as long as they keep playing, they'll be absolutely fine.
I've been waiting.